Welcome everybody. My name is Nicole and I'm the brains and the beauty behind Yarn Craft by Nicole. I'm a pattern tester, pattern designer, and overall yarn enthusiast. Today on Yarn Chats, I wanted to show you one of my designs. This is the Love of Linen shawl. I showed you a little bit about this when I was designing it and when I was making it. And today I have a very special reason for having this as my featured make. On my Instagram page, I have recently just hit 500 followers, which is awesome and just an incredible show of support for something that is my passion and just the love of crochet. So as a celebration of hitting that milestone on Instagram, I am doing a giveaway. It will start today, which is Thursday, the 26th, and it will go through this Sunday. So if you are interested in this giveaway, let me tell you what you can get. First of all, you can get a copy of this pattern, Love of Linen Shawl. It is a very beginner friendly pattern. It uses exactly 3 stitches and it works up beautifully with just one skein. For this one, for my test design, I used Wonderland Yarns Summer Silk, and it took exactly 1 skein of that to make this beautiful, easy, lightweight shawl. You can also win in this giveaway, paired with a free copy of this pattern, this beautiful skein, and I'm going to hold it up so you can really get a good look at that, of Fiberstory yarn. Fiberstory is a yarn that is made right here in Michigan, dyed right here in Michigan, and it is always just delightful and charming, the color combinations that they come up with. This is the colorway Fresh, and it is in a fingering weight yarn, so you could use this skein to make this pattern. So if you're interested in joining that giveaway, you'll just head over to my Instagram. It is yarncraft_by_Nicole, and you'll see me there with this wonderful background behind me. In order to enter the giveaway, you need to be a follower on the Instagram page, and then you need to comment with what your favorite thing is about summer makes. What do you love about summer crochet or summer knitting? Tell me what you are thinking that your favorite thing is for summer makes. And then I will pick a winner on Sunday, and I will announce that winner at 5 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday. So if you're interested in that giveaway, jump over to my Instagram page. I would love to see you over there. And again, with this beautiful skein of yarn and a copy of my pattern if you are chosen as part of that giveaway. I'm really excited. It's my first giveaway. So as we get started in today, I have a lot of fun things to show you. My day job is winding down a little bit for the summer, so I've had a little bit more time to create, and I have big plans for some fun summer projects. So the first thing I want to show you is probably the finished object. So this is something, it's actually made in a different weight, but the same colorway as this. They're both Fiberstory. I actually bought this skein for another project that was inspired by an opal birthstone, and this is as close as I come to it, and it is just beautiful. I wish the lighting was a little different in here so you could really get a good look at how pretty that is. But I wanted to design a very easy hat that doesn't require any seaming. It is a top-down hat. It starts right here in the middle, has increases go to the side, and then it has an applied ribbing. So there's no seaming at all. When you go around and create your ribbing, you just slip stitch it together. So it's very easy. There's only one cut that you need to make, and at the very end you'll tie it off. And I designed it so that it could be beginner friendly, but also so that it could show off really pretty hand-dyed yarn without being a complicated pattern. This is one that I was writing up as I made it. I'll probably publish it within the next couple of weeks. It is also beginner friendly, and it uses the extended single crochet, which has a lot of stretch to it. It's also customizable if you wanted to make it a little bit deeper for a more slouchy hat. But I'm very pleased with this. I have made a couple of hats for my husband, who wears hats much more often than I do, and I had him try it on to make sure the fit worked for him, and he was a fan. So I'm very happy with this. I will let you know what the name of it is as soon as I figure out what the name will be. But this is a finished object. It's just going to be an easy, simple go-to hat pattern that doesn't look simple. It looks It looks professional, and it's a great way to shuffle some yarn. I'll probably also do some mock-ups of it with the band and like this double crochet row in a different color. I think that could be really cute. But that is one thing that I have recently done this week. So I think it's my only finished object that I have this week. But I have a lot of projects going. The next one has come a long way since you saw it last, and that is my Timberwood tank that I am doing. Janine released this pattern as a kit with lime brand yarn, and I love the way that it looks. It has very flattering lines with some short rows, and I knew I loved it, but the middle part, I'll give you a better closer look. I mean, look at that, it's beautiful. This middle section that you kind of build the tank off of was giving me a lot of issues. It has nothing to do with the way that the pattern is written. It is simply that I have not had a lot of experience with this particular stitch, and using the hook size that was recommended made it way too tight for me. I just couldn't see where my stitches were. I couldn't keep my counts accurate, and so I tried it once, that didn't really work. I tried it a second time with adding in a turning chain, which is not what the pattern said to do. My sides got all wonky, and then I tried it a third time with just the neck size up on the hook, and that has made all of the difference. It was a bit of a pain to work with at the beginning, but changing that hook size has made it go a lot quicker and made me want to work on it because I didn't feel like I was continuing to get things wrong. So I'm very excited about this. Going to be the Timberwood tank. I'm also just really curious about the construction because I've never made a tank like this before, and I think it'll be a real showstopper when it's done, and I'm just absolutely loving the color. It's called Marmalade. It's very cute. So that is one. It doesn't feel like it's come a long way because it's still just the middle part, but with the issues that I had with it, and again, that is a personal Nicole issue that has nothing to do with the way the pattern was written. Because of those issues, it has taken me a little bit longer, but it is also just a way of showing you that even someone who has been crocheting since she was 12 and knows how to do a lot of things can still struggle with something that is relatively simple. And we can all learn from each other and just take a minute and not stress about it. So that is my Timberwood tank. The next thing that I'm working on is a present for my best friend, but she knows what it looks like because she watches this podcast, but also because she's the one that picked the colors and asked for me to make this cardigan in this pattern. And that is the cardigan that I showed you last week. It's the Pebble Path cardigan, the green one that I wear, that I wore on here once. I wear it all the time, but I've only worn it on here once. And I'm doing hers in a cotton and linen blend, and oh my goodness, I don't even think that's the pretty side. Oh no, this is the pretty side. It's coming along so cute. It's got these really pretty bead stitches at the bottom, and the drape on this, like the way that it hangs and flows, it's just going to be so comfy. And knowing that this is a cotton and a linen blend, it's going to look kind of like this, and then have some center ribbing. When it's all done, like, I'm a little jealous that this is not for me. But it could be. I can always go back and get more of this. I'm using Cotlin from We Crochet. Also, we Knit Picks. It's the same brand, and it's their Cotlin DK weight yarn. I will say that it feels a little bit thicker than a DK as you crochet with it, but I'm using an H size hook, and it's working out beautifully. I absolutely love it. And I am very excited to see what it looks like when it's all done and kind of see how it hangs when I'm finished with it. But I'm very happy with this project. And because it's a bottom up cardigan design, right now it just kind of feels like I'm crocheting a blanket. I'm just going back and forth, especially now that all of the bead stitches are done. It's going really quickly. So I'm excited about that. And that's the Pebbled Path cardigan from Haley Herman. She also has a cute Pebbled Path crop top that has the same bead stitching at the bottom. That might be one of her patterns that I try, because she writes a good pattern and I like what she does. So I'm very excited about this one. I have another one that I'm going to be making for my sister in like a pretty pomegranate color, and seeing how pretty the yarn works up here, I'm really excited about how it will work up with hers. So those are my current webs, but I will have a lot more this summer because I am going to be participating in TL Yarn Craft, Tony Lipsy's Yarn Love Challenge. It's something that she has been promoting for a little while, and it is during June, her birthday month, where you pick a craft that you are passionate about that uses yarn. So whether that's yarn dyeing, yarn weaving, knitting, crochet, macrame, any of it, that there will be certain hashtags and prompts that you can follow through June. And she's got a couple of kits too that she worked with another yarn dyer to create, and they look very awesome. So I decided that I wanted to play too, and I wanted to participate. So I went to my local yarn store and found some yarn that I thought would be really happy and very summer. Originally, I was looking for a cotton and a fingering weight, and I just didn't love my options there. The design that I picked from TL Yarn Crafts, and you don't have to use one of her patterns, but I wanted to because it was one I wanted to make anyway, is called the Garden Party Shawl, and it's this beautiful oversized shawl that uses the granny stripe, and it has some ribbing at the bottom. She did a revamp of the pattern that had a different, like a picot border recently, and it's also beautiful, but I wanted to do the original one. And so I thought about some of the colors that I usually gravitate towards. I have a couple of shawls that are like shades of greens or blues that are beautiful, but I wanted to do something that was different and bright and happy. And for some reason, after I've turned 30, I'm really into pink, really into hot pink. It's just a happy color. It makes me happy. So this is what I came away with. Aren't these stunning? So the Garden Party Shawl has granny stripes that I will be doing in the pink, like the hot pink. And then it also has like basically breaks in the stripes that are solid, and that's what I'm going to use this speckle for. The bright pink is from Malabrigo yarn. I've used them for several projects. My local yarn store, Spun, always has a good selection of Malabrigo, and they're just saturated and lovely. I have some lipstick that is almost this color and will probably have to be worn while I'm working on this or when I finish it. So these are both Malabrigo, and then this one is from Stitch Together Studio. She's awesome. I worked at a local yarn store, and she dyed a colorway for us. The bag that I did, the Kensington tote, that was another TL Yarn Craft pattern, was in a yarn that she dyed, and she's awesome. She's actually started selling more from her website, Stitch Together Studio, and she has the most fun color combinations and inspiration, and she's just great. This is the colorway As You Wish from Princess Bride, and it's got some of those hot pink speckles, more of a light pink. It's kind of coming across on the screen as more of an apricot, and there are some notes of that, but it reads more light pink here in person. And then it also has some darker pink, some green speckles, and I just think that those are going to be really happy together, especially since it'll be mostly this color with a little bit of this. I think it's going to be cute. The next thing I got is from Sewrella Yarn. Y'all know I love Sewrella Yarn, and they did a collection earlier this year called the Knitflix collection instead of Netflix, and it was inspired by movies and TV shows and a lot of things, and I was really good, and I only bought yarn that I knew what I wanted to do with it, and it came this week, and I'm very excited. So I will show you what it looks like. I don't even know what, I guess I'll start with this. So I bought their yarn in a couple of different weights. In the past, I've only ever gotten their stock yarn, either because it was for a pattern that I wanted to use, or it was part of their oopsie sales where that was the only thing left by the time I could order. So I've never bought any other bases from them until today, and I will say that I am very excited for what this will be. So the first one that I got, look at it, beautiful, is called Believe. It's inspired by the Ted Lasso series on Apple TV, and it's just so happy. It's just such an awesome blue. It's mildly semi-solid, and I got it in their bulky weight, which you can see kind of the twist of that, and it is Absolutely stunning. It's got 106 yards and it's 100% superwash merino yarn. I am pumped about this, and I bought this specifically for my husband, who I told you earlier wears a lot of hats, and both physically and metaphorically. And I have made him a couple of hats, 2 or 3, and he's liked them. He's worn them, but they have never been warm enough. We live in Michigan, and most of these hats have either been out of DK yarn or like even some that were a little bit skinnier. He's never had a warm hat that I've made from him. And he looks awesome in blue, and we love Ted Lasso, and he goes to the University of Michigan. So this seemed like a no-brainer, and this will become a hat for my husband. It might even be a very similar pattern to this hat, or I might do something entirely different, but that is exactly what that is for. Sewrella also had a new yarn base that had a little bit of a shimmer to it called Stellina, and all of the pictures that I've seen of this color with a little bit of shimmer were also like, that was a winner. So very happy about this. This is called Believe, and it is on a bulky weight yarn. Will become a hat for my husband. The next one that I got is just for me, and it is called Shop Around the Corner. It's so cute. It is inspired by the movie You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, and it is a movie that I grew up loving and loving to watch, and have watched. I think I watched it like the day after I bought this yarn, before they all came out, and it holds up still great. But this is inspired by that. It's got a lot of very 90s colors in it, with a little bit of the soft pink, a little bit of the sagey green, bit of the muted blue, and it's just beautiful. I got this on a worsted weight yarn, which I will hold up side by side with the bulky. You can see that this one is thicker and this one is a little bit thinner. This one has 218 yards. This one has 100 yards, or 106 yards. At some point over the summer, I will do a video that will talk about different weights of yarn, what each is used for, why it matters, what you're buying. But I just wanted to show you the difference between those two. This, because it is just for me, will probably become an ear warmer, and then maybe like a little pouch for sunglasses or something like that. Cute things that I'll wear all the time, that I won't need a second skein for, that'll just show off how pretty this colorway is. And Shop Around the Corner. It's so cute. The next one I was very, very excited about. Excited when she teased what it was going to be, and then excited when I saw what the colorway looked like. And that is this cute little sock set called Thank You and Good Night. And it is inspired by The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is a series on Amazon about a female stand-up comedian, and set in the 60s. And it's awesome. So this one is inspired by Mrs. Maisel. This is the one that's called Thank You and Good Night. And then she did another colorway called Givenchy that was inspired by Audrey Hepburn's dresses that Givenchy designed. So these are going together, and they are both a sock weight. They recently changed their base, Sewrella did, for their sock weight, and I love the new base. It drapes beautifully for shawls. It's very soft. It has a mild twist to it, and it works up beautifully. I used it for a shawl that I did over Christmas in their Nutcracker yarn. It's cute. You should go on my Instagram and see what that looks like. So this I bought specifically to design a shawl. Now that I've proven to myself I can design a shawl, I'm gonna try another one, because there are a lot of yarn dyers that create these sock sets, and sock sets are great because you have a contrasting color that you can do the toes and heels and cuffs in. If you're a sock knitter, like, these are great. I am not a sock knitter. I am a crochet enthusiast, and while you can crochet socks, I have never enjoyed that particular process. Doesn't mean I won't ever in the future, but I wanted to design a shawl that would use a sock set, and just a sock set, so that if you saw a combination that you really liked from a yarn dyer, that you could just pick up one and know exactly what to do with it. So I don't know what it will look like yet. I have designed it roughly 5 different ways in my head of how it can look, but I'm really pumped about it, and I'm excited to see, especially how this will work up as a variegated yarn. It's going to be very fun to play with. Sewrella also does these cute like market items with her Netflix collections, or with all of her collections really, that are capsule, like they're themed. And for this one, she had popcorn and wool wash, which I bought. It smells really nice. And then she had these little mugs that look like a sweater and have a tea infuser in them. And I wanted one, but they sold out like within minutes. And so I'm looking forward to whenever those come back. But she had all these cute little things. And I will tell you, I bought the popcorn, and I bought one that was barbecue flavored and one that was called Berries and Rosé. And the berries and rosé one is already gone. The only reason why the barbecue one is not gone is because I'm waiting on my husband to try it too. And yeah, I ate the berries and rosé bag already. It was delightful. It tasted like the color pink. It had freeze-dried raspberries that were crushed up and on it. It was really good. So if you ever decide to buy from Sewrella, one, highly recommend buy from Sewrella, but two, also look at some of the other things that she sells, because I have not been disappointed with any of them. She's also done hand lotion, which was wonderful. And then, like I said, the wool wash. Sometimes she has fun things like the snacks. She's also partnered with other people in her area for chocolate. I bought chocolate from her with a collection. So, oh, and tea. That's the other big thing. She does these like, curated teas. And the only reason I didn't buy any Netflix ones is because I already have 2 bags of her tea that I haven't gotten through yet. And so I told myself I wasn't allowed to buy any. But she had some over Christmas that was a peppermint bark tea. And it has like crushed up peppermint bark in the tea mix. So when you brew your cup of tea, like you don't even need to add sugar. Like it's already sweetened. It's delightful. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you this week. Hopefully they brought some joy to you. And if you are interested in joining the giveaway, head over to my Instagram, Yarncraft by Nicole. You can find me everywhere there. You can find me Ravelry, Etsy, Facebook. It's all Yarncraft by Nicole. So if you're interested in the giveaway, from now until Sunday, you can enter. We will end this week with Can't Let It Go. And as with many people this week, I cannot let go of the shooting that happened in Texas this week. I try to keep this podcast full of energy and full of positivity, and I hope that it is that place for everyone. That is the goal, is to just have a spot of joy and an outlet for me to share creative things. But that has been weighing really heavily on me and everyone, as it should this week, to know that we still live in a world when a shooting can happen in an elementary school, and it's not even the first mass shooting this year. And as someone who has worked in education since 2016, it's always hard to go back to work after that happens, and it shouldn't be something that we know how to go back to school after it happens. Like, it shouldn't be something that is common enough that someone can say this is what we always do after that happens. And it's just hurt, and it's been infuriating, and it's been hard to know the best way to make change and to make sure that this never happens again, and to feel paralyzed by the fact that it keeps happening. And that is what's been on that's what I can't let go of this week. I am looking forward to the day when we as a country can take action and protect our kids, and not just train them on how to react when that happens. It is not inevitable that things like this will happen. It's not just the natural course of how things are now. It can be stopped, and it can be changed. I hope that this week, as you are going about your week, and as you probably are also processing what has happened, that you can still see glimmers of hope and still see ways to take a stand and to make an impact. TL Yarncraft, someone who I mention on this channel often, is doing a release of her Tunisian Chevron blanket pattern called the Bahama blanket, and she has pledged to donate all of the proceeds from that to Sandy Hook Promise. So if that's something that you would like to look into donating, there are other people that are taking stands as well and supporting change so that this doesn't happen again. I hope that this week that you can have time to process, have time to still see glimmers of hope and still see ways to make an impact. Next week, I will see you right back here. I'll see you then.